The Buddhist principle of letting go, rooted in the teachings of Gautama Buddha, holds profound significance in the philosophy of Buddhism. The Buddhist principle of letting go, applicable in present-day life, aids in stress management, improving relationships, enhancing decision-making, coping with loss, promoting mindfulness, fostering gratitude, encouraging personal growth, and reducing overthinking. Let's embark on the journey through 3 enlightening Buddhist stories, each offering profound insights into the transformative power of letting go. First story, How to Let Go. Once upon a time, Buddhist monks were on a journey. One of them was a senior monk, and the other was a junior monk. They reached a river which is raging. One young lady stood on the riverbank. She was worried of how she could reach the other side of the river without sinking. She requested both for help. Junior monk rejected by simply walking away from her without any slightest thought about it, and he alone crossed the river. However, the senior monk picked the woman up and carried the woman across the river. He placed her down, they parted ways, and on they went with the journey. As the 2 monks were on their journey, the senior monk could sense some concern in the mind of junior monk about the happening. He asked what was wrong, and the junior monk replied, "How could you carry her like that? You pretty well know we are not supposed to touch the women under any circumstances, given we have taken the path of celibacy. This deed is against our path to it." The senior monk replied, "I left the woman at the river's end long time back. Why are you still carrying her?" The senior monk had broken guidelines, but he did it for a good cause. Once he fulfilled the purpose, he put her down and continued. He never gave it a further thought. The junior monk, however, did not touch the woman, but he'd brought up the actions of the senior monk when it was an action of the past. Thus, the junior monk still carries the burden of what the senior monk had made it as emotional baggage. You see, in life we have little use for past experiences except for learning, whether it is good or bad. The narrative shared in this story underscores the essential lesson of relinquishing the burdens of the past. That is, you have to let go of any burden of the past. Just as depicted, it emphasizes the importance of freeing oneself from the weight of past events, allowing for personal growth and enlightenment. It's happened, it's over, it cannot be changed. We can only move forward and create a more compelling future for ourselves. If you hang on to something that happened in the past, which gives you suffering every time you relive it or think about it, you will get the same suffering over and over again, creating a cycle of suffering for yourself. Cease your concerns and release the grip on the past. Let the past go. By doing so, you can redirect your focus entirely towards the future. A wise man cracked a joke. Crowd laughed. He told the same joke again for the 2nd time. A little less people laughed this time. He repeated the same joke for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. When nobody laughed on repetition, he smiled and said, "You are unable to laugh at the same joke again and again. But why do you people cry over the same thing again and again? Do not fight with the past. Do not give importance to the past. Thoughts come and go. Let it go." Let's delve into the 2nd story, The Art of Letting Go. A Zen story. There was once a young monk who was struggling with his meditation practice. He found it difficult to quiet his mind, as he was constantly distracted by thoughts and emotions that would arise during his meditation. One day, he approached his Zen master and sought guidance on overcoming this challenge. The master listened intently to the young monk's concerns and replied, "The art of letting go is what you must learn, my young one. It takes patience, practice, and most importantly, awareness. Let me show you." The master then took out a water bottle and filled it with water. He handed it to the young monk and said, "Hold on to this water bottle for a minute." The Zen master asked, "What is the weight of the bottle? How do you feel?" The young monk replied, "It's okay after a minute." The Zen master then asked him to hold the bottle for 10 minutes. Again, the Zen master repeated, "What is the weight of the bottle? How do you feel?" The monk replied, "There should not be any change in the weight of the bottle for sure, as I know physics. But I can sense the weight to be more than earlier, and it pains now. Hold on to this water bottle for as long as you can without dropping it," the master instructed. The monk took the water bottle in his hands and held onto it tightly. At first it seemed easy, but as time passed, his arms began to ache and tremble. He felt the weight of the water bottle pulling him down and became increasingly frustrated. The master, adopting a conversational tone, remarked, "You see, the bottle appears to weigh more than you think if you hold it for too long. You know the weight doesn't change, only the duration of holding, that is, holding the bottle for too long, is causing pain. It's like when we carry our thoughts and emotions for too long, they start to weigh us down, just like this water bottle. Learning to let go is crucial for finding inner peace." "What shall I do?" said the monk. The Zen master replied, "It's in your hands, either to hold it or let it go. Choose one." The monk, realizing the analogy, took a deep breath. He slowly released his grip on the water bottle, allowing it to fall back into the master's hands. The master grinned and said, "Well done, my young one. The art of letting go is not so difficult after all. With practice, you will learn to release your thoughts and emotions, just as you did with this water bottle. Master, I have learned much about letting go, but I struggle to apply this wisdom in my daily life. How can I truly master the art of letting go? Learn to observe your thoughts without clinging to the guilt and regret that arise. By acknowledging your past actions and accepting them as part of your journey, you could begin to let go of their grip on your present." My dear disciple, true mastery lies not only in the practice of meditation, but in the integration of its principles into every aspect of your life. Letting go is an ongoing process, not a singular occurrence. It resembles caring for a garden, requiring daily cultivation. The past remains unalterable, and regret cannot reverse what has transpired. But through the practice of letting go, you can find a path to redemption and healing. The true liberation lay not in erasing the past, but in learning from it and using it as a catalyst for personal growth. From that day on, the young monk practiced the art of letting go, releasing his thoughts and emotions during his meditation practice. With patience and awareness, he eventually found the inner peace he had been seeking. The story reminds us that we can learn to let go of our thoughts and emotions with practice, patience, and awareness. When we do, we free ourselves from unnecessary mental and emotional burdens and can find the inner peace we seek. Now, let's delve into the third story, the art of letting go. Once upon a time, there lived a young woman who had a lot of troubles in her life. One day, she approached the Zen master, asking for advice on how to let go of her discomfort and find harmony. The Zen master asked her to stay calm in his garden for a while. Then he said, "Now tell me, what is the problem? Why do you need the art of letting go?" The young woman replied, tears welling up in her eyes. "Master, I carry within me a deep sorrow. I have lost someone dear to me and I cannot shake off the grief. Every waking moment I am consumed by the memories and the pain. I desire to discover a path to let go and attain tranquility within my heart," she expressed. The Zen master paid careful attention, his benevolent ease filled with compassion. He reached out and picked up a delicate flower from a nearby bush and held it in front of her. "Tell me," he said, "what do you see?" The young lady gazed upon the flower, captivated by its lively petals and the sweet aroma it exuded. "I see a beautiful flower, Master," she replied. The Zen master smiled and remarked, "Certainly, it is a beautiful flower. However, my dear, consider this. What would happen if I were to pluck the flower from its stem and clutch it tightly in my hand, unwilling to let it go? What would happen to the flower?" After a brief contemplation, the young woman responded, "Master, if one were to grasp the flower tightly, it would inevitably wither and perish. Its beauty would fade, and its fragrance would be lost." The Zen master nodded and said, "Precisely. The practice of letting go is akin to releasing the flower. Just as tightly gripping the flower leads to its demise, clinging to pain and sorrow will only result in further suffering. Genuine peace and healing are found in the act of letting go," expressed the Zen master. The young woman gazed earnestly into his eyes, seeking guidance. "But how do I let go, Master? How can I liberate myself from the pain that has overwhelmed me?" inquired the young woman. The Zen master delicately returned the flower to its place on the bush and shifted his focus to the questioning woman. He spoke softly, "Letting go begins with acceptance. Acceptance of what has passed, acceptance of your pain, and acceptance of the impermanence of all things. Understand that holding on to the past will not change it. It will only deprive you of the current moment and hinder you from embracing the beauty that life still has to offer." He continued, "Practice forgiveness, both for others and for yourself. Holding on to resentment and blame will keep you trapped in a cycle of suffering. Through forgiveness, you unload the weight of anger and grant yourself the ability to progress with an open heart." The young woman took in the Zen master's words, and a glimmer of hope appeared in her eyes. "Thank you, Master. I will strive to embrace acceptance and forgiveness. I comprehend now that through letting go, I can discover peace and facilitate the healing of my heart." The Zen master smiled warmly, his presence radiating tranquility. With the help of these three stories, we understand that incorporating the Buddhist principle of letting go into daily life is not about detachment or indifference, but rather about finding a balanced and mindful way to engage with the world. By embracing impermanence and cultivating a non-attached mindset, individuals can navigate the challenges of contemporary life with greater ease and resilience. If you find these thoughts inspired by Buddha valuable, consider clicking the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more wisdom and inspiration on this journey together. Hit that notification bell for a constant flow of enlightenment. Namo Buddhaya.